Good day, Mr. Ansel and everyone. We are from Group 2, and today we are going to present about what we had learned from Topic 1, Introduction to Restaurant. So this is our group member. The first one is me, Christabella. The second one will be Jessica, and the third one will be Kasumi. So first, what is food service industry? In the US English, it is known as food service industry, and in British English, it is known as catering industry. So the food service industry is any business that has a part in creating and selling meals, including food and beverage, out of the home premises. That includes everything from the food manufacturers to restaurant. There are several steps in food service industry. We start with the first step, which is sourcing. Sourcing is the step where the food premises gather all the ingredients that are needed for the next step. The second step is manufacturing. It is the step where all the ingredients that had been gathered from the previous step start to process to become a semi-ready-to-eat meals. The third step is distributing. It is the step where the semi-ready-to-eat meal are distributed to the food service industry, such as restaurant, hotel, and transportation catering. The next step is preparing. Even though this meal is already mostly done or semi-ready to eat meal, at this step, the food service industry will process the meal to become a fully ready to eat meal or 100% cooked. For example, the frozen chicken katsu that had been distributed from the factory are going to deep fry in the restaurant to make it fully cooked and ready to serve to the customers. The last step is serving. Serving is the last step in the food service industry where the meals are ready to serve to the customers. In food service industry, we have two types of catering. One is commercial catering, which is more focused on making profit, and the guests can choose whatever they want from the fast food to fine dining meals. In commercial catering, it is important to have a high demand from the customer, since when there is a demand, there will be the supply as well. For example, if the fast food demand in city A is high, then the fast food franchise will open their restaurant in city A. The second one is institutional catering, which is more focused on the welfare of the people, so making profit is their secondary priority. The example of this type of catering is the cafeteria at school, hospital, and office. Next, I will pass to Kasumi. Thank you.
Thank you, Bella. So I'm going to talk about types of catering. There are 5 types of commercial catering. First is fast food catering. Since 1970, the customer have demand fast and cheap food, so we can easily find everywhere, such as hamburger and pizza. The second one is traditional catering, such as fine dining and family-style restaurant. The next one is transportation catering. As you know, this type of meal is provided airplane and trains. As Dr. Ansel had mentioned before in the class, in Japan, we have the bento box, which called ekiben. So where we can buy it at train station. The other one is theme restaurant. We have some examples, such as an elementary school lunch restaurant in Japan, and also Harry Potter themed restaurant in Indonesia. The last one is leisure attraction restaurant, where this kind of restaurant is usually can be found at a theme park. The restaurant is secondary priority, since their main priority is their leisure attraction. Also, there are ethnic restaurant and food court also. So there are some examples of theme restaurant that can be found in our country. The first one is in Japan. We can find an elementary school lunch theme restaurant in Tokyo. It reminds guests of when they were elementary school kids. The target are especially Generation X and Millennial, because they provide 80s and 90s Japanese school lunches. There are some activity for the guests. They can take a test which asks for the knowledge from what they have learned in the student period. So if you get the full mark, you can get the discount. And in Indonesia, we have a theme restaurant as well. It is a Harry Potter theme restaurant. The restaurant had a Harry Potter themed decoration, starting from their statue type of table, and also they had a replica of famous platform 9¾ that always mentioned in the movie. The restaurant also provide a drink menu that is named after some of the portion names in Hogwarts, which is Butterbeer, Polyjuice portion, and Mad Eye portion. The target customer of this restaurant is the fan of the Harry Potter movies. So now I'm going to talk about customer trend. So nowadays, guests demand three categories, which are freedom, service, and safety from the restaurant. The first one is freedom. Guests can choose any food that is suitable for one's religion and preference in a variety of categories. In terms of service, customers demand high quality service, such as friendly service from waiters and a high quality of food too. To achieve and control the good quality of restaurant, the staff need to work in a team and have a nice teamwork. The lastly, for safety, the restaurant need to be clean and make sure there are no insects or rats in their premises to avoid any risk of contamination and food poisoning. Also, because of the COVID-19, the restaurant should provide a contactless service such as ordering via tablet or kiosk machines. So now I'm going to pass it Jessica. Thank you.
And here are some food trends in 2021. The first one is the flexitarian diet. Flexitarian people mostly consume the plant-based food, but they also eat meat in moderation. Some people also chose to go with low-waste food, and the reason is to reduce unnecessary packaging like plastic or non-recyclable material. The third one is the veganism and vegetarian people that don't eat any food that is made from animal products. It is a way of living that excludes all form of animal exploitation and cruelty. Fusion cuisine is a cross-cultural cuisine. For example, is the Mexican, Korean, and Chinese Peruvian cuisine. And because of the social and economic influence, there are four types of meal that is formed. In the food industry, around 55% people prefer the quick meals, such as fast food, cafeterias, snack bars, brasseries, and train restaurants. 29% prefer leisure meal. For example, is the cafeteria, grills, pizzerias, and specialty restaurant. 15% of people prefer a familial meal like a specialty or gastronomic restaurant, and last 1% of people prefer a business meal like a luxury gastronomic restaurant. Next, and here is the list of our reference. And thank you very much for listening to our presentation.